So I think the biggest thing for me when I look at a resume is don't overdo it. Sometimes we want to put every single thing on a resume that we've ever done. 4 or 5 bullet points is perfect because you're going to lose attention after a couple of bullet points.
It is not great to have a multi-page resume, especially when you're a college student. Also gives me another opportunity to lose one of the pages and then not have any idea what your real work history is. This might be more personal, but the really crazy fonts and stylings, sometimes it takes away from the content. And those are really the two things that I've noticed and continue to notice over the years.
I mean, this is a no-brainer. If you have a typo in your resume, you're not going to work for us. And I know you hear that everywhere, but that is just, it drives us bananas. So have people look at your resume for you. Have another person look at your resume when you think it's done. No typos. No typos.
Just simple resume that we can look over quickly, because you do have a lot of students coming to your table. You don't really have time to read a 2-page resume when you're sitting there with 5 or 10 students standing at your table also wanting to talk to the employer while they're here at the fair.
We'll start at the positive. Things I love to see are relevant experience. If you've got co-op internship or even design project work for senior design or something like that, put that on your resume. That shows us that you've operated outside of a classroom environment, which again UAB is great at helping you along with that. So take advantage of those resources and make sure that that's loud and clear on your resume that you've done that. On the other hand, some things that you probably want to leave off your resume. If you have gaps in your work or schooling, kind of have an explanation ready for that. That's something we'll be asking about. And yeah, make sure you put your GPA if you can, because that'll quickly be a question otherwise.
I think Spire is really community based. I think they like to see community involvement, what you do on a volunteer basis, and you can overcrowd a resume. Just hit the high points. Too much information can be distracting.
Number one, contact information. That's very, very important. There have been many times where I've needed to contact a student to extend an interview or invite them to dinner, or maybe just do a follow-up conversation and their phone number isn't on there. So that's important. A lot of other times we may send keep in touch packages, which are little boxes of gifts that we'll send in the summertime just to keep students' mind on FAST Enterprises. But if their address, for example, where their home address or campus address is not on their resume, we can't send that package, and to be able to keep in touch with people throughout the year.
I'd say also too, what I've seen in resumes is that sometimes people think it's an opportunity to describe the basic tasks and responsibilities under each headline or under each employment opportunity. What we're really trying to see is what you've been able to accomplish as a result of some of those skills or those tasks that you're actually charged with. So I'd rather you put on there, instead of saying as manager of sales, that you're responsible for tracking this, or making sure that these things were input in this particular software or platform. I'd rather be able to see a bullet that says you've been able to increase revenue by X as a result of whatever it is that you've been able to do to ensure that you were delivering on that particular outcome. Anything that you can see that's measurable, any measurable accomplishment or achievement, you want to make sure it's very clear and that it's something that is included in those bullet points beyond just what you're responsible for executing as a result of your job. I can look that up anywhere. And plus, I've seen 1,000,001 resumes, and I can probably assume what you've been responsible for. What I can't assume is what you've been able to accomplish or achieve as a result of your time being in that role. And that's what I really want to be able to see.